I'm Coach Michael Burt, the Super Coach. Every month I like to take our Monster Producer content and break it down into bite-sized chunks. I do teach a long form, and if you're in the coaching program Monster Producer, you get access to my Monday accountability calls where I break the concept down into a granular. If you're in my online academy, you get access to the Monday calls, which is really unique. And then I teach a long form every month where it's an hour to an hour and a half of this subject. And I only pick subjects that I think will move the needle in your business and in your life. This month, I picked how to become a world-class negotiator. Now, this is very critical. You're negotiating every day with your feelings, with your family, with your friends, with your coworkers, with your employees, with your customers. Life is a series of negotiations. The better you become at this, and even if you just take one strategy that we're going to talk about in here called the flash roll that I learned from Oren Klaff. I think that's the biggest thing I've taken away from this class is how to incorporate this one strategy to bring a person to the table or to convince them you're an expert or to get them to take action. So, I'm Coach Michael Burt, the Super Coach. Today we're talking world-class negotiation, and I'm going to break down strategies and how you become the buyer versus the seller.
A monster producer is a legendary creature who combines multiple skill sets to dominate their market. Are you ready to dominate?
I believe everybody needs a good coach in life. Running a business can be tough. It can beat you down. We bring the motivation. We bring the structure. We bring the strategy. How do you explain your services? How do you work a selling system? How do you follow up like a machine? How do you extract 5.7 referrals from every transaction? Our number one goal is to get you a 43% increase in your business. And I want to show you how to be a monster producer.
I must confess that I feel like a monster.
Prepare yourself for a 43% increase to your business.
I feel like a monster.
Monster Producer
Ladies and gentlemen,
begins now.
All right, welcome to Monster Producer, Coach Michael Burt. I believe a monster is a legendary creature. Are you ready to become a world-class negotiator? When you're thinking about negotiation, there's some great negotiators out there. Chris Voss, Never Split the Difference. I particularly am fond of Oren Klaff. Oren Klaff wrote Pitch Anything. He wrote Flip the Script. And I believe that my personality gravitates toward Oren Klaff, which you make up your mind, you're the prize. You make up your mind, you have something valuable. You are the one that's using frames on other people. They're not using them on you, right? Like you are the person of interest. You are coming at this from a position of strength versus weakness because you've come to your conclusion. You have something incredibly valuable that other people want. Now, if they can't see it, they don't want to take action on it, then that's on them. It's their loss. It's not your loss. There's 7 billion people on the planet. You're only looking for people that are looking for you. You want to go where you're celebrated, not where you're merely tolerated. So after I went through this course, I've actually changed the way we follow up with people. I used to go long cycles, like I wrote the book $1 Million Follow-Up. You go 7 to 15 touches, 80% of the time to convert a prospect to a buyer. Now, I'm not saying you don't go 7 touches, but I'm saying we're going to condense that. When I speak now, there's going to be an offer when I speak that's ridiculous. I'm going to stack and bundle that offer, and I'm going to say, take action today because it'll never be like this again. When I walk out that door, it goes up. There's a sense of urgency. Or I may say I'm only taking 10 people or 15 people or 20 people out of the group or 30 people or whatever the number is in proportion to the number of people there. I may say, look, if you don't take action today, we're going to follow up with you for 2 weeks. And at the end of 2 weeks, we're not following up with you anymore. If you want to buy something from my website, you can. Now, that's very different than it used to be where this evergreen model of just letting people come in at any time. Like there's open enrollment, like insurance. You can't just enroll in insurance anytime you want to. There's open enrollment periods that you got to get in, right? It creates a sense of urgency, which is what you need when you're negotiating. So I've told my sales team when a person says, follow back up with me, tell them, Coach Burt's not giving us permission to follow back up with you. If you've seen him speak, you know what he can do. You know what he's done for other people. If you don't see enough to take action on it today, then we're going to move on to somebody who does see it because there's 7 billion people on the planet. I got that and changed that by studying these negotiation tactics of bringing a person to the table. So here's the first thing I would tell you when it comes to negotiating. A good negotiator understands that when negotiating anything, the other person you're negotiating with is actually not the adversary. The adversary is the situation. The adversary is the roadblock between you and getting a deal done. It's the board. It's I'm scared to make a decision. It's my wife won't let me. It's my whatever, right? That's the adversary, is the thing in between you and putting a deal together. You're actually working in conjunction with the other person to make it happen, like to put a deal together, to negotiate. So negotiation is understanding there's an adversary that is in between you and I and the deal. That's the problem. How do we tackle that? It's like, this is your holdup. This is your objection. This is your roadblock. If I could remove it for you, if I could diminish its impact, if I could, right? Like if I could bring it down, would you take action on it right now? See, we're trying to create a sense of urgency, okay? Which is why I changed the way I follow up with people. We still follow up 7 touches, but it's going to be in a concentrated 2-week cycle. I'm not going 6 months anymore. I'm not going 2 years, unless it's a big deal where there's a lot of complexity and a lot of inside baseball, okay? So this is a game of information, in my opinion, and status. Now, you're going to hear me use a word called Black Swan. Chris Voss named his company Black Swan. It's a little piece of information that you know that helps you negotiate. For example, a person owes me money, and they say they don't have any money, but I saw on Facebook that they just bought a new black Escalade. That's a Black Swan. Knowing what a person wants, like I want to be famous. I want to be the number one person. I want to beat my competitor. I want this. That is a little Black Swan, which gives you a little piece of what? Information. This is a game of information. Who has it? Who has access to it? Who can utilize it? So when you're thinking about this, life is a series of negotiations. You're negotiating with your own self and your emotions, and some of you lose that battle every day. Okay? Like last night I got in late from Florida at our private resort house down there. It'd be so easy for me to say, I don't want to work out. My feelings are telling me stay in bed, take a day off. You cannot negotiate with your feelings. You have to tell your feelings what you're going to do. They can't tell you. You're negotiating with others based on body language. Some of you don't understand. You don't get your head up. You don't smile. You don't meet and greet. You can't build rapport. You can't disarm the croc brain, which is the front part of the brain that is scared of everything. When the croc brain meets something, it wants to eat something, kill something, or sleep with something. Those are the 3 functions of the croc brain. That's how primitive it is. So what I do when I'm selling, and I'm going to cover this next month in Monster Producer, the 4 steps to the sale, is I contact, disarm, find the ruin or the problem, offer a solution. I make contact. Hey, this is Coach Burt. So glad, like I had a dude today that I was talking on the phone with. We got his billing screwed up. I called him. I said, hey, this is Coach Burt. I'm here to rectify the screw up that we made on your account. Sound good to you? Absolutely, Coach. Thank you for calling me. Why? What? Hey, make contact, build rapport. When I build rapport, that's with my body language. He can feel my energy. I'm positive. I'm upbeat. I'm a person of advancement. I'm giving him increase. Okay, I'm going to help. I'm here to help you. I'm not here to hurt you. I'm here to help you. Okay? Then I find the problem, locate the problem. That's going to be important to this flash roll I'm about to teach you. And then I offer a solution. And the solution needs to seem complex to them, simple to me. It's simple to me because I do it every day. It's complex to them because they don't know how to do it, which is why they need me. It's why they need you, right? So you're negotiating every day with your energy, right? You're negotiating every day with your mindset. You're negotiating every day with people that come into you. So here's what I would tell you. Never negotiate until you have something to negotiate. If you got a bad attitude and you don't produce and you're not hitting your sales numbers, guess what? You ain't got no room to negotiate anything. Go in and produce and produce and produce and produce. Then you have raised your status. Now, so let me ask you this question. Do you believe you're a good negotiator? Yes or no? Do you believe you understand how to negotiate? Do you believe you bring the energy it takes to negotiate? Do you understand the concept of the Black Swan, which is a little piece of information that you need to know? When we come back from the break, I'm going to show you how to become the buyer versus the seller, because that's our objective in any negotiation. I have something you want. I have something you want. I have something you want. If you don't want it, I'm going to take it to somebody else. There's a fear of losing it. Like, I'm not chasing you. I'm the one being chased. I'm the person of interest. I've developed a hard skill. There's something I want. How much is it going to cost to get what you got? See, I'm the buyer. I'm not the seller. And I'm going to show you how to do that when we come back.
Monster Producer has completely changed my business. I created a whole new service level from being a part of Monster Producer. One event that I came to caused me to think completely differently about what accounting is, what it does for other companies, and how we really help people. And so each time that I come to Monster Producer, I have a new way of thinking about my business that is different than before, and that's what I love coming to these events for.
We've been a part of Monster Producer as a company for about a year, and it's been really good for our team to kind of see the strategies that he teaches and the things he does to motivate and agitate, get our prey drives going to do more things. He actually helped us see things a little bit different. Like he says, you can't see the picture when you're inside the frame, so he gave us some things to look at from outside so that we could look at it in a way that our customers would benefit, and then we would speed up the cycles to our benefit as well.
Jay Cash, the auctioneer here. I've been in Monster Producer for I think going on about 2 years now, and it's the real deal. And it's really been one of the best decisions I've ever made. A lot of times Coach talks about a 43% increase in your business. I feel that number out the door. Just the last year, in our second year, our business saw what was already a record amount of growth. To last year, we did 67% increase in business.
Welcome back to Monster Producer. I like to break the monthly coaching session down to small bite-sized chunks. I've already given you some big things. Who are you negotiating with? The situation, not the person. Okay? What is a black swan? A little piece of information you need, right? What are you negotiating with? Emotions, body language. Never negotiate till you have something to negotiate. Now let's move into how you raise your status, because the more I study this, and you can get into this with Pitch Anything Ohrenclaff or Flip the Script with Ohrenclaff, the more I studied this, the more I realized the higher the status, the more negotiating power you have. Your status is high because of what you've done. You've accomplished something. You've created something. Your reputation walks in the room before you do. People don't care what you say. They care what you have done. Your perceived status gives you negotiating power and leverage. Your perceived status in the market. You're a person of interest. You're a multimillionaire. You founded Walmart. You're Ray Kroc. You're Donald Trump. Like you have a negotiating power. So how do you elevate your status? There are 3 ways to elevate it: wealth, power, celebrity. Why do people want to become politicians? For power. It's perceived power. And I learned this by one of my good friends was a state senator. And when I used to go to dinner with him, they would give us a private room. They would give us their best waiters. The chef would come out and say, "So glad to serve you tonight, Senator." See, it's perceived status. Now, what if you don't have wealth? What if you don't have power? What if you don't have celebrity? And these are all indicators, by the way. Like I understand, you hear people say, don't judge a book by its cover. People do judge books by their cover, which is why packaging is so critical, which is why what you wear is critical, what you drive is critical, where you live is critical. Like, it elevates your status. Now, what happens if we don't have wealth, power, celebrity? We create what's called local star power. And the way we create local star power is by how good you are when you're in the room. So I put you in a room of people. You have no status. You got no negotiating power. You elevate your status because people walk out of there and go, dang, that dude's good. He's real good, but he's not real known. Okay? That's how you create local star power. You get in a room. I don't care how you got to get in there. You buy your way in. You friend your way in. You ride the coattails in. Don't matter how you get in the room. But once you get in the room, you're real good. And that is based on your primary skill. Talk about that in the book, Single Digit Millionaire, you need to read. Your primary skill has been honed and refined and nurtured. And when people get in a room with you, they know how good you are. Now, one way to show how good you are when you're negotiating, and I'm using this in my follow-up, is called the flash roll. The flash roll is a linguistic fireworks display of pure technical mastery over a complex subject. The flash roll must locate a problem, and offer what seems to be a simple yet complex solution that only you can offer. Now, what do I mean by this? You're in a room with a person. Somebody is interested in something. And you take a concept and you break this concept down. And you say, well, there's really 3 problems here. And I've seen this 17 times based on my last 25 years of coaching. And there's 4 missing structures. And here's how I feel the missing structures. And once we fill those missing structures, we're gonna be able to help you get a 43% increase in sales. Now, I've done this with 500 people in 43 cities, right? And we were able to pick up 10,645 new customers. That's a flash roll. It's where you articulate your brilliance, your expertise to solve their problem. Okay? Now, let me give you another example. Because when you're negotiating, sometimes you're negotiating for attention. You're negotiating for time. You're negotiating for energy. You're negotiating for them to pay attention to you. So I'm working on these insurance guys out of North Carolina, and they're wanting, what their want is to add a little adult supervision to their company. They've hired some very good friends to be on their management team. They know they need to tighten the management team up. They need to go from being, but they can't see the monetization of, if I have a tighter management team, how does it turn into money? Like, I know I'd like to have one, but is it a must-have or a nice-to-have? Why would I spend this much money? Well, I went back to them yesterday with the flash roll. And the flash roll is, why invest in your management team? And I talked about typical problems with management teams that are too loose: loss of money, wasted time in production, lack of efficiency, right? Like if we tighten your management team up here, and here, this is what'll happen. More focus, better morale, more energy. I get it. It looks like an expense, which is why people wouldn't spend money on it. Okay? I'm trying to turn it into an investment. This is why you need to do this. So I use the flash roll in the follow-up. I overwhelm them with my technical expertise. It's simple to me. I've done this many times for many management teams. I know the outcomes. You turn me loose with your people, it's going to work, and it's going to work at a high level. But you got to turn me loose with your people. And let me tell you why, because I'm an expert at this. That's a flash roll. Now, when we come back, I'm going to break down pricing, and I'm going to finish up with pricing today because I think this is very critical. And if there's anything I want to get across to the listener in negotiating, you have to make up your mind that you have something valuable that other people need. The money is not the prize. The other person is not the prize because they have the money. You are the prize. You have something valuable. This will change how you follow up. This will change how you have conversations. This will change how you talk to people. This will change everything. Once you make up your mind that you're the prize, now you're in a position of strength versus weakness. That's what we cover when we come back in Monster Producer.
Hey, welcome to Ask a Pro. Grant Cardone here with my friend, Coach Michael Burt, Monster Producer Academy. He's the founder of, CEO. He's a personal friend of mine. Monster Producer Academy also sits at Cardone U now, if you don't know that. And I went out and sought Michael Burt because I'm like, this dude is a professional coach, not an amateur coach, not a dilettante, not a mamby-pamby. Dude, This guy gets you accelerated growth.
Yes.
Okay, he gets you spikes and spurts and spurges. He'll show you how to scale your business, but before you scale your business, he'll show you how to grow your business.
Yeah.
Okay.
Welcome back to segment 3 of Monster Producer. We believe a monster producer is a legendary creature. This is a little podcast I do every single month to take a big concept and break it down to a small concept. If you're in my online academy, you get access to things like this. If you're in my coaching program, you get real access. And don't fool yourself. The podcast ain't the same as being in the room with Coach Burt. Me breaking down this concept for you is not the same as seeing it live, being in the room, being coached by me. Quit fooling yourself and being cheap. Get yourself in Monster Producer and get the real coaching that you deserve, because these are kind of concepts I'm going to teach you. The flash roll, that one concept can make you a bunch of money. When you follow up with such expertise that people go, dude, man, you're good. I didn't even know you were that good. But you got something valuable. Locate a problem, solve my problem. Now let's finish with framing. When you're negotiating, what if I told you the way you're looking at this is all wrong? Like, you think you're chasing something. They, the consumer, the prospect, the suspect, has the money. Okay, you are just a little salesperson trying to sell them something. So you walk in and say, thank you so much for letting me be here, and I'm so grateful and honored that you'd give me some of your time. Right? That's all wrong. You need to walk in and say, look, thank you for being here. I got 15 minutes, and then I got to get to another appointment, and I want to show you in the 15 minutes this, and this. And when we're done with the 15 minutes, if you're interested, maybe we got a few extra minutes, maybe we don't. And I want to see if you're a good client for us and we're a good fit for you. I don't know if it's going to be a fit or not till we have this meeting. Here's the deal. You're the prize. Okay? You're not going into it trying to sell them or convince them. You have what they need. Now, if they want something cheaper, you say, hey, I can introduce you to a person that's cheap, and it's not going to be as high quality, but if that's what you want, I'd be happy to introduce you to them. Okay? If you want Ritz-Carlton, then you want me. If you want Dollar General, then you want them. Totally up to you. Okay? So the way you're looking at this is all wrong. The other person is not the prize. The money's not the prize. You are the prize because you have been working your whole life. Now, they may not know how good you are, and that's really a marketing problem versus a talent problem. You got something real good, but nobody knows it, or you do a poor job of articulating it. But you are the prize. This is called prizing. You have something incredibly valuable that other people are going to want. If they don't want it or can't see it, then you will move on to somebody who does want it. There is a demand for your skill, and you have learned how to market that skill. Like I'm just now figuring out at 43 years old what my real skill is. Activating the prey drive in people, taking complicated stuff and making it simple. Creating action in people, right? I talk about this in the new book, Single Digit Millionaire. And for you, once you know what you got, then it's like, who wants it? If you don't want it, I'm moving on to somebody who does want it because I ain't playing around. I'm serious. Now, the only way to prize, it's hard to prize when you don't have any leads. So the only way to prize is to have so many leads, have so many options, have so much abundance that you literally believe if they don't take it, somebody else will. If you're not interested in it. So this is how I've changed my follow-up. Hey, you saw Coach Burt speak. Did you like it? Yes. What did you like about it? Energy. Would it be nice if you had that energy every week? You got on a call with Coach Burt every Monday. You got live sessions. You got in his private Facebook group. You got to come to a boot camp with old Coach Burt for 2 days. Wouldn't that be nice? Well, I don't know. Look, seems like you're not that interested in it. On a scale of 1 to 10, how serious are you? Because Coach only works with serious people. Now, are you somewhat serious, kind of serious, or real serious? Okay, because Coach ain't messing around. Now, he's only got this much time. He's got this much demand. Here's an example. Working on a speaking engagement in Chattanooga. I'm going to Chattanooga this week. We're trying to close a guy down, and he kept pushing us off. Well, I got to do this. And I heard my salesperson say, oh, we'll make it work. Well, Coach Burt will come back to Chattanooga again. And I stopped her, and I said, no. You call him back, and you say this. Look, Coach Burt's got 1 day available the whole first quarter. He's coming to Chattanooga on February 19th. Now, if you don't take this date, there's a good chance I'm not going to be able to get Coach Burt back to Chattanooga for the rest of 2020. Now, do you want to wait till 2021 to get started with this? Or would you like to take Coach Burt up on him coming to Chattanooga? You can't be available all the time, right? Like he's scarce. There's only so much demand. No, supply. There's a lot of demand. There's only so much supply. Do you want some of it or not? Because if not, we're going to call on somebody else and we're going to give up that date. And when you call back next time, we may not even be interested in you. So are you in or are you out? Let me close it with this. You are the prize. If you're going to negotiate from a position of strength, you got to say you're rare and you're valuable. Who wants it? Who would write you the largest check for it? Have you created enough leads to walk away from something that's not a win-win? And how are you building demand for your skill? I'm Coach Michael Burt, abbreviated version Monster Producer. Get in the room with me. Come to an event with me. Get in a boot camp with me. Join me. Be part of the team. Get part of the Monster expansion because that's where we're going. We're going all the way to dominate the whole world, planet Earth. And I'm Coach Michael Burt, and everybody needs a coach in life.
This event here that I'm at Coach's Lodge is the Monster Producer Retreat. I signed up for it a few months ago after talking to Eric and learning and following Coach with the idea that I want to become a professional coach and speaker. This retreat has been absolutely indispensable in my self-development.
Man, when I met Coach Bird, there was something that I always saw. I always say it's not about what I get from here, but it's what I can be able to give. Literally, that's the way Coach thinks, is what can I give to this guy and how can I impact his life?
So what attracted me to Coach is that we share the same beliefs about business, family, life, travel, impact. And not only is the message, the delivery, the purpose impactful, it's also the people here, the like-minded people, the driven, the impact-driven individuals and couples here makes a retreat like this that much more powerful.
For me, coming to this event was an opportunity to be around like-minded people who are looking to grow, letting Coach kind of pour into us and teach us systems and figure out, more importantly, what's missing, and actually to get stimulated, if you will. I use his prey drive terminology, activate that prey drive and say, what's stopping us? How are we getting in our own way? And then not just talking about it, but putting some action behind it.
I believe getting around people motivates me. There's several pieces of our business that's been lacking, right? We're doing millions of dollars in revenue. We should be doing freaking tens of millions, but because I wasn't here, because I didn't know a lot of this stuff, it's kept me from leveling up my business. And I'm confident now that after spending a couple days with the super coach, Coach Michael Burt, we've figured it out. We've got the necessary steps to succeed, and we're going to implement them as soon as we get back home.
I'm here at the $1 Million Coaching Summit with Coach Michael Burt, and I'll tell you what, guys, I mean, every actor has a coach. Every professional basketball player has a coach. Michael Jordan had a coach. Every tennis player has a coach. Baseball players, they have several coaches. And see, I got to go to an event, and I was in front of this gentleman, and he was sitting there answering questions, and he talked about prey drive. And I immediately connected with him, and he said, everyone needs a coach in life. And I went up to him right there at the lunch, and I said, you know what? I need you in my life. And I'll tell you what, it was the best decision I had made.
This event has been absolutely tremendous. The $1 Million Coaching Summit. With this event, it helps people to know how to put their story together and how to be able to help take their story and to be able to put it into a sense where they can help other people as well.
Unbelievable vibes, unbelievable people here. And it's really cool being around some big players that are willing to invest in their business, in their lives. And I'm telling you, when you just get around this, there's literally no place like it. I mean, you can call it a retreat or you can really call it a reboot. And you really will get rebooted, rejuvenated when you're around these type of big time players. And we're learning all kinds of things, how to level up in life, how to level up in your business. I mean, how to do the things that are gonna get you to the next level. So important that you get into these type of settings in order to really invest in yourself. Because I believe in going to these things, you're betting on yourself, you're investing in yourself, and that's how you're gonna level up.